A Christian Marital Love Guide. Chapter 1. A Christian Marriage 1. Christian Marital Love 1. Pleasure is fine but only within marriage. God's design is marriage and monogamy with no perversion or adultery. Love is a daily act. It's not I made it to the wedding, she's mine, that's it. My cat lets me know when she wants attention. It's a lot of the time. You have to be attentive to your spouse. Choose to love. Make love as though you love him or her and want to bring them pleasure. When you have problems, solve them rather than fight. I was watching the release show Mob Wives and wondering how these Italian Catholic women could view so vindictive. It was because they had a fighting stance. Nobody would soften up / There is romantic foreplay affection. For the man with erectile dysfunction, all you have to do is develop healthy habits. Don't eat sugar. Rest up. Sexual intimacy is closeness in bed. If you can achieve that, then everything else in the marriage will be eased. Don't have children unless you really want them and can afford them. Sex during pregnancy is not a big deal. There are positions like spoons and doggy style. Sex will decrease with age, but you can still be affectionate. Love is the key. If you love your spouse, then you like being with them. Your marriage's goals supersede all worldly commitments and ambition. Sex is everywhere online. Don't listen to any of their lies. Keep your sanctity. God created sex. There are many passages about sexual perversion in the Bible. People have been doing all this disgusting stuff for many years. Just because they have a gay parade in your city doesn't mean you have to play along to perverts. What God designed, man has distorted. I saw the passage in Deuteronomy about a man should not wear women's clothes and vice versa. I saw those videos on the Mark Dice YouTube channel about the cross-dressers having children's reading hour at libraries. Society is going evil. Keep your own purity. Be modest and loving. Can you care about your spouse and family? That's all you have to do. A good Christian community can keep your family strong. Be a good person. Do God's work. Communicate love. You can't be timid sexually. If you are, there is no sex. You have to say sex is natural. We should do it regularly for pleasure. Don't beat around the bush about it. Say let's go fool around. Try to look good. If you want sex after work, take a shower immediately, then suggest romance. Talk openly about sex with your spouse, but don't listen too much to all the talking heads out there. The secular media doesn't promote love and marriage much. Zachary King has a YouTube channel. He said when he was a Satanist, he cast a spell for the TV networks to get gay people on every TV show. Somebody is trying to destroy the traditional family. Besides the gays, transgenders and perverts, somebody says there are 110 million singles in the US, which is 1/3 of the population. Love your spouse and family. Be blessed in the Word. Read the Bible when weak. The sexual relationship is not unholy. It's a part of nature according to the Bible, so don't be ashamed of it. It's not like this thing about doing the wifely or family duty to procreate. It's about being affectionate and intimate, unashamed with your spouse. You don't have to hurry it in a self-conscious way. Do it with tenderness and pleasure. Have joy in the marital and sexual relationship. You have God's permission to enjoy sex within a marriage. Christian Marital Love 2. Proverbs 5:18, 19. Let your fountain, your body parts that produce life, be blessed, and rejoice, or ecstatically delight with the wife of your youth. Let her breasts satisfy you at all times, and always be enraptured or filled with her love. The Song of Solomon is a love relationship guide. God created male and female. God saw everything that he had made, and, behold, it was very good. Genesis 1:31. The Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone, I will make him an helpmeet for him." Genesis 2:18. A part of Adam went to make Eve. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Genesis 2:24. The man shall cleave to his wife. The man is to be totally committed to his wife. Be joined together in sexual union, to be one flesh. They were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Genesis 2:25. Bear children. Genesis 3:16. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. Mark 10:6, 9, Matthew 19:5, 6. Mark 10:10, 11. Ephesians 5:31, 32. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. The sexual relationship between two Christians is intimate fellowship and delight. Some people feel uncomfortable about sex because they equate the sexual desire of men with the sexual drive of animals. Man uses reason in choosing to have sexual relations. He has intercourse as a whole person. Husband and wife gain spiritual unity and a deeper knowledge of each other through the sexual relationship. Adam knew Eve. Genesis 4:1. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due her, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Hebrews 13:4 says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. Sex in marriage is right. There are many passages in the Bible that talk about sex outside of marriage as perverted wrongdoing. People have been sleeping around outside of marriage for thousands of years. There is even a passage about the guy sleeping with his mother-in-law. Don't go into marriage unprepared. Premarriage counseling helps you make sure. I read a Jewish proverb that went something like the man with a nagging wife is sad. Premarriage counseling or a workshop is mandatory in the Catholic Church. It should be mandatory before you get a marriage license from the county. You go through a few checklists. You can find big differences in attitudes that could stop you from making a big mistake. Many of them cost under $100. They probably got them online now. Attend a religious premarital workshop, meet other new couples and talk about married life. Christian marital love 3. Have a honeymoon. When a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he hath taken. Deuteronomy 24:5. You need a honeymoon to bond. If you do not bond up front, maybe you never will. There is no good or bad time to marry. Marriage is hope and commitment. People can marry in hard times and thrive. There is never a perfect time. People say we'll wait until I finish college and get a job, etc. It doesn't matter. Just to say that I disagree with clergy at certain times. I read an article by a so-called love Christian minister who said don't marry if it's a time of turbulence. Millions of people married during WW2. Life is always turbulent. Charles Dickens said it was the best of times and the worst of times. Live within your means. Owe no man anything, but to love one another. Romans 13:8. Money books are at number 332 at the library. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. Ephesians 5:31. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. Obey your parents until marriage. After marriage, your loyalty is to your spouse. A meddling parent has to be told you can be with us but don't tell us what to do. In-laws should not be involved in your marriage. Genesis 2:24. In Italy, they have the term mama's boy. For us in America, a young couple gets their own place. In many cultures, the new couple moves into the family home. I think this is ridiculous. Too many people around in your private life. A successful Christian couple works hard to apply God's principles to a good marriage. It is rarely peachy cream smooth sailing. There are times when you have to pray and work to stay committed to the marriage because people naturally fall out of love. At that point, you have to work to keep a connection. Be ye all of one mind. 1 Peter 3:7, 8. Spend at least an hour a day together. An easy way is to walk a dog together. You're each going to have your own TV and online interests. Try to have some mutual time together while watching TV. Find shows you can watch together. I stopped being a sports fan at 13 when I went up to the Forum in Montreal, saw several NHL players at the front lounging around looking to sign autographs. They looked like ordinary men to me looking for attention from kids. I realized it was a business. That was the end of me being a sports fan. That one thing alone can transform any man into a great family man. Instead of watching sports, spend the time with your family. Study the scripture with your wife. Be vigilantly attentive to your wife. Be at ease together, with full knowledge of each other. This is a great marriage. Don't go to bed with an unresolved conflict. Be mature enough to talk. If you sleep in separate rooms, that's a bad sign. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Ephesians 4:26. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13. Resolve negative attitudes toward each other before you go to bed. Within the church, there are friends, the minister, and so-called Christian therapists who I don't trust because their bottom line is to make money. If a minister is a good person or you have a close friend within the church, then their job is to help you as fellow Christians. Sometimes a couple needs a third party to resolve a conflict. I wrote a mental health book. I was in the mental health industry. There are good people trying to help people, but all that crap they call their science of psychology is total fraud. You can choose to buy into it like most brainwashed people, but it's such a massive lie, this lie of pretending to have advanced knowledge about human life. Trust your own thoughts over everybody else in the world. Do not let a seed of bitterness take root and grow up to smother your marriage. I've seen several couples who I thought were fine, then all of a sudden they're either fighting in front of me or broken up. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness. Galatians 6:1. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord, looking diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. Hebrew 12:14, 15. Forget those things which are behind. Philippians 3:13. In today's world, the climate is don't accept disrespect. Retaliate. I was watching the now defunct show Mob Wives. I was thinking to myself, these are Italian Catholic women. They can't forgive and forget. They have to fight because they all feel they're being disrespected. Christian marital love 4. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other. 1 Corinthians 7:3, 5. Many women feel guilt about sex from Theo-IR upbringing. I suggest you don't waste money on professional therapists. They're all fakes pretending they know something deep and advanced that you don't know. That's the only fake wisdom they got. Give your wife a copy of my Woman's Sex ebook. The husband and wife are robbing each other if there is not mutual pleasure in the sexual relationship. Husbands and wives are entitled to certain sexual fulfillment. You have a responsibility is to fulfill your mate sexually / have Bible study and prayer together every day. Man shall not live by bread alone. Matthew 4:4. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. Colossians 3:16. Cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Ephesians 5:26. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God. James 1:5. Ephesians 5:25, 28. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot, or wrinkle, or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. Christ meets the needs of the church by washing it and cleansing it with the water of the word. Listen to Bible teachings on Christian YouTube channels. Be committed to loving your spouse. Ephesians 5. As the husband loves his wife, she is willing to be submissive to him. As the wife submits to her husband, his love for her will surely grow. Do not marry someone who is not a Christian. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Only when a person trusts in our Lord Jesus Christ alone for salvation can that person be considered a Christian. Acts 4:12. Only when submitting to Christ can anyone live the lifestyle of submission. 1 Corinthians 11:3, F 5:21. Love is a strong, stable, mental attitude, seeking nothing but the highest good for the loved ones. Submit means to be with him, part of his dream, his vision. It's mutual reciprocal loving teamwork. I've been around quite a lot of families in my life so far. You can tell if there is some kind of unity and intimacy. Do they pray before a meal? Do they sit together and eat a meal without a TV or cell phones? Do they make small talk about the current day? Some kind of religious prayer, talk, or community separates close families from secular families where everyone going their own way. I've seen families where the kids take the food and go to their own rooms to watch TV alone while eating. This is not a real family. But I would have you know, that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. 1 Corinthians 11:3. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Ephesians 5:23. One that ruleth well his own house. 1 Timothy 3:4. The husband is the spiritual leader of the home. There are wimp husbands and dominant wives. Is that all that bad? I don't know if it works for these particular people. In a traditional solid family, the man is a wholesome decent breadwinner with a moral standard like the father in the Waldens. In today's world, I've seen some of the wimpiest men living off their wives. They don't seem to have any shame about it. The wife likes being the boss of the house. The world is truly upside down, and I'm not even talking that transgender tragedy. We used to call women wives, now some people call them my baby's mama. And the wife see that she reverence her husband. Ephesians 5:33. Stay close to the church. The secular world takes over some adults. Children are the most susceptible to the glitter with the MTV Awards, the E! Network, and all that pop culture celebrity stuff. Have reverence for each other. Many men have poor wives because they treat them poorly. Treat her well. If she does not treat you well in return, she is not a good wife. Christian marital love 5. If the father loves the mother, the children will be loving. The home should be loving, warm, and nice. There should be a spirit of love, generosity, and forgiveness. People who have been loved generally end up to be loving. There are many homes without love, and it's not just poor people. There are homes with excessive material wealth with no love. There's also the pop culture vibe. There is no unity. Everybody has their own pop culture delusions, and that's how they live under the same roof. I've seen this big rift between secular homes and Christian homes. The Christian home has love. The secular home has material gadgets and talk about money, sports, memes, tram news, which are frivolous next to a spirit of love. And let's nor forget alcohol. I don't think we're unique as Canadians in the port city of Halifax. Alcohol was everywhere when I was growing up. Most of our neighbors were functional alcoholics. That led to us kids starting to drink at 13. I did some booze then drugs then I quit forever, but even now when I talk to people, I think they're all lying to me, pretending they don't drink or do drugs all that much because they all know I have no vices like that, so they act health conscious around me. Getting high seems like a normal part of life around here. Have a genuine love for each other. Pre-marriage counseling was good. If there are problems, continue to talk now. Use a third person to be a mediator of sorts if you feel you need one. You fall out of passionate love. After that, you need to fight to move into a stable, loving, satisfying relationship. There should be good sex in a good relationship. Many people are self-conscious about it. Sex is supposed to be a good free thing within a couple. If you feel that you no longer love your partner, nowadays, the solution is to divorce, but in the olden days, people stuck it out and made an effort to commit. Everybody has to make their own choices. Try to find someone upfront who you think you can go through life with, not just someone who looks good right now. Love can be passion, affection, romantic feelings, friendship, fondness, infatuation, etc. Love is not supposed to be an expectation of getting something in return. The way most people love their pets is the way they're supposed to love people. It never happens. I have an ego. I hate being disrespected. It's less complicated for me to love animals than to love at least certain people. It seems as though there are few truly loving people. People steal, lie, they want to fight, they feel slighted, they want more attention. To love another one person as your life's purpose is a high ideal. I used to smoke dope and work out with a group of friends in my 20s. That was my primary lifestyle. It didn't help when I tried to be in a loving relationship. People are what they are by nature. The marriage family route is not natural to everybody, but this is what we're sold all our lives. Agape love is unconditional and irrevocable. Agape love gives without seeking personal advantage. Agape love is supernatural love poured out on us in a beautiful abundance, seeking nothing but our highest good. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Genesis 2:24. Be totally committed to her. What Have You Done For Me Lately was a song by Janet Jackson released in 1986. Right after that, I seem to remember several movies like Waiting to Exhale, 1995, and others about women leaving their husbands and going off to find young lovers. This is part of the modern secular attitude. You're supposed to fight for your marriage like you fight for a career or anything good that takes effort. There needs to be an irrevocable commitment to the marriage. With today's no-fault divorce laws, marriages seem disposable. To cherish for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do us part should remain a worthy ideal. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. Mark 10:9. Commit to making the marriage a success. Emotions do not sustain a marriage. Commitment to unconditional love does. Give to each other or allow the marriage to disintegrate. Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. Luke 6:38. Renewal of love takes place in choice of the will, action, and feeling. Repeatedly reach out to a responding partner for cuddling and snuggling and fondling. Chapter 2. A Christian Marriage 2. Christian Marital Love 6. Criticism is out of order. Recognize your partner's insecurity. Affirm your love and commitment when it is appropriate to do so. Don't be patronizing. Be real. Make your mate as comfortable emotionally and physically. Build your relationship for a lifetime. You're supposed to have sexual desire, excitement, and orgasm as a married couple. There are many ways to be romantic. I wrote a love and romance book, a dating book and a sex book. They're great teaching tools if you think you need ideas. Almost every woman is self-conscious about her body while the guy gets aroused by seeing a naked body. Romance is being seductive with creativity and imagination. Hebrews 13:4, the marriage union is honorable and the bed undefiled. Song of Solomon, 2:6 and 8:3, describes a position ideal for intensified love play. Embrace lovingly. Fondle and stimulate with gentle stroking. Tell each other what stimulates you. Build excitement in foreplay, then have sex. Caress and touch. Fondle. You're supposed to do intercourse hard. If you come too fast, then work on giving your woman an orgasm by stimulating her clitoris. Be healthy and look good for each other. Don't come then fall asleep. Try to please your wife. Sex is full of frustration, self-doubt, and inadequacy. Try to be free and open about it as a couple. Express love to your mate. Christian marital love 7. Spread the warmth of your love onto each other. Express and receive warmth physically. Ask God to raise your level of love and sexual interest for each other. Enter into a mutual, loving bond. Quit worrying about who might be at fault. Discuss how both of you can experience more pleasure in your sexual relationship. Give each other a chance to make love without demand or criticism. This is not a time to keep score. Love without anxiety. Build up memories of pleasurable sexual feelings. Create desire. Exert your willpower to be romantic. If you're tired, don't try to be romantic. It won't work. Sex is supposed to be friendly, enjoyable touching and affection. People can't have fun if they're self-conscious or judging each other. Sex is not a bad thing, but when you're a kid, they often teach you that it's bad and forbidden, so when you finally get married, you might have negative ideas that you have to put aside and say, I'm a free sexual being. This is natural for pleasure and love. Be relaxed and sensuous. Let love-making unfold naturally. Force nothing, pretend nothing. Massage your love it in a pleasure-oriented way. Become close and romantic as you concentrate on each other for pleasure, without pressure. Become sensual and desirable to your husband. A man wants to see a wife who enjoys sex. Caress gently, never harsh. Freely express your pleasure in sexual feelings. Talk things over. Anticipate the other's physical wants and needs. Christian marital love 8. Reciprocate romance. Try affection without much talk, just touch, kiss, caress. Lightly stroke your lover's neck, earlobes, breasts, upper inner thighs, buttocks, then to the genitals. A loving husband gives his wife orgasms. Work towards simultaneous orgasm. Do gentle, appropriate stimulation of the clitoris and the nearby areas. Painful intercourse is called dyspareunia. If it happens all the time, see a gynecologist. Pain can be caused by vaginismus, the involuntary action of the muscles of the vaginal entrance, as they go into spasm when an attempt is made to insert the penis. Erectile dysfunction is usually lack of health, fatigue from work, or self-conscious that you're a poor lover. If you drink alcohol regularly and or do recreational or prescription drugs, they all rob you of natural vitality. Go for walks together, eat healthy foods, and be together to increase libido. Clean up after work if you expect romance. Sometimes a man is brought up to see sex as sin, and after he is married, he still has guilt and fear of touching his wife. Touch refers to physical communication. The husband and the wife must enjoy the fun and pleasure of affection, of cuddling and caressing and sleeping close together. Spend time together pleasuring each other without any demand for intercourse. Caress each other in love play without expecting anything further. Demand nothing of him in terms of arousal. Relax together in a warm, intimate way. Sharing fears, find comfort and pleasure in each other. Relax. Never judge sexual performance. Be seductive. All erection drugs just increase blood flow. They don't do anything to make a person feel hornier in the mind. Sexual intimacy is closeness and affection. Sustained intimacy is possible between a husband and wife who are committed to each other. Intimacy links marriage partners with deeply emotional, mental caring and closeness. A good marriage is all love-making. Christian marital love 9. Great love is loving gestures, physical touching, Shared thoughts. Exchanged feelings. Supportiveness. Trust. Valuing each other's bodies. Shared laughter. Closeness. Continuous sexual interaction. Deeply satisfying relationship. Intimacy is a sense of belonging that two people nurture and develop. Friendship is warm. It leads to romantic feelings. Stoke the fires of passion. A good marriage is companionship. Sexual desire. Romantic thrills. Sense of belonging. Kindness. Joy and optimism. A sense of security and peace. Intimacy is sustained. Close emotionally. Joyous times. Feeling of safety. Praise and encouragement. Hindrances to intimacy are criticism. Anger and resentment. Marital boredom. Failure to resolve issues. Silent treatment. Refusing to talk. Arguing. Indifference. Raising voices. Ground rules for constructive communication. Keep talking until they resolve the problem and understand each other. Limit the discussion to the present conflict, not bringing up anything else. There cannot be intimacy without communication. Don't be afraid of intimacy. You want closeness to develop. Good communication requires listening with love and opening up. Do you have a willingness to be vulnerable? Do you try to express what you feel to your lover? Where you are between trust and a lack of trust tells you where your relationship is. Do you hide money from your spouse? To be intimate means that one must have something to give. Intimacy requires cuddling, snuggling, sitting close to each other, holding hands and kissing. To build intimacy you must touch affectionately during the day. Media watching kills many relationships. With video games, it's worse. People get addicted to video games more than generic TV watching. Show a capacity for tenderness and caring. Express feelings without embarrassment. Show confidence and strength. Have a slow, sensual romantic atmosphere. Variety is the spice of lovemaking. Lovers enjoy each other. Take walks. Talk in front of a fire in the fireplace. Go away together for a night or a weekend. When you're being romantic, don't talk about money problems. Share intimate conversation. Compliment each other as lovers. Thanking each other for the beautiful experience of sex. Sexual intimacy has spiritual dimensions as unity with God. Christian marital love 10. Have an inner attitude to please your spouse. Look good for your spouse. Sex is positive. Make your lover feel wonderful. Be wholesome and sexy without being degrading. Don't expect fireworks on the wedding night because you will both be tired. Take a shower together at least once. Relax and anticipate possessing each other. Don't smoke cigarettes. If you feel bad during menstruation, tell your husband to give you space. Don't have more children than you can handle. Use birth control if you must. There is a lot of infertility around, probably due to all the chemicals around. Fertility treatments are expensive. If you're expecting a baby, learn about it. Prepare for the baby. Motherhood is not an excuse to become sexless. As the years pass, stay friendly and romantic together. There will be pain and tragedy. You either keep moving on or fade away. That's the trick of life, keep going or fade away. Older couples can thrive if they choose to. There are many diseases. Watch your health. Don't become so lazy that you have no stamina or imagination left. Support and help your children as they navigate life. Expect jealous people to try to attack your marriage.